Hello, so we're back again with another test. This time we're gonna do another supercharging test, zero. We're both on 0%, so you got the dual motor over there, 0% charge, and I have my rear-wheel drive that I'm in right now. That's also on 0% charge. So even the kilometers showing is 0 kilometer on the dash, so they're fully drained, both of them, fully drained. And we're gonna run them all the way up to 100% to see which one is actually quicker. We've done this test in the winter. The LFP kind of had the advantage. We've done the test when it was like 20 something degrees. Again, the LFP. And I want to test it again in full summer. It is currently 34 degrees. It's summer, it's hot. And I want to see which one is faster, because it's getting kind of crazy right now. It just doesn't make sense. The LFP should not be faster. So they're both drained. Let's have a look. Let's plug them in and see what happens. 0% on the rear wheel drive. And 0%. So 0% and oh, there we go. Not bad. 0 kilometers. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Plug it in. Go. And it's not charging yet. Oh, there you go.
There we go.
Charging. They're both plugged in. They're both charging. So we'll see how long it takes. So the rear-wheel drive says 25 minutes. So 25 minutes remaining. What do we have for yours?
Weird. 40 minutes.
40 minutes.
Okay.
Now, why would that be? Why?
Wait. What's the charge limit?
Okay, so I'm charging at 116 kilowatts. Sorry, the dual motor is charging at 116, and the rear-wheel drive is charging at 117.
Change the limit to 100%.
Oh, my bad. Okay, so now it's showing 40 minutes, which is definitely more accurate. That sounds more realistic.
And now
the dual motor is 1 hour and 5 minutes. And he's charging at 117 kilowatts.
Oh, we didn't preheat the batteries at all.
Yeah, there was no preheating at all. It looks like I'm charging at 117, 118, so a smidge quicker, a smidge faster. But they're both set to 100%, so we're going to be charging to 100%. And we'll keep checking in every couple of minutes or so, just to see how the cars are doing. We'll switch it over to percentage. There we go, 3%. All right, well, let's see what happens. Interesting though, I have a little message here that says battery heating for optimal performance. That message is not present on the dual motor. It is really hot outside. We haven't driven them, so they're not preheated, they're not preconditioned or anything. This is just the car's warm because they were sitting outside the whole day, so they are going to be pretty warm. But they're not preconditioned. Yeah, so the dual motor is showing 1 hour left, and the rear-wheel drive is showing 35 minutes. Now, I don't know if that's real. They're both set to 100%, 100%. So if that's true, then that's going to be a huge advantage for the rear-wheel drive. Massive advantage. Right, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. So we'll get back in a couple minutes and see what the status is. Okay, so we're back for another check. Right, so this is the dual motor. It's at 45% charge with 50 minutes remaining on the clock. And we are charging at 109 kilowatts. For a brief moment there, it went up to 180, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 180. Now it's down to 108. So it's slowly dropping. A little early for the drop, but yeah, that's what it is. Now we're moving on to the rear-wheel drive. And it's charging at a much lower rate of 90. Well, not much lower, but lower rate of 90 kilowatts at 56% charge. So 46 versus 56, 10% more charge. That's 224 kilometers of range versus 241. So 241 on the dual motor and 226 on the rear-wheel drive. Back again with another update. So the dual motor is now at 71%, and the rear-wheel drive is at 84%. It hit 80 a couple minutes ago. So I guess if you're comparing 0 to 80%, which is something a lot of people do, the rear-wheel drive is already on its way. In any case, it says we have 13 minutes left on the rear-wheel drive versus 35 minutes left on the dual motor. Now the dual motor is currently charging at 65%.
65 kilowatts.
So, sorry, 65 kilowatts. And the rear-wheel drive is at 47 kilowatts, which is definitely a little slower now. So I guess we'll have to see if that 13 minutes is accurate. If it's accurate, it means that we should be finishing at 3:21. Yeah, so 3:21 p.m. is when this should be finishing, the rear-wheel drive. I guess we'll put that to the test. And the dual motor is showing 35 minutes still. So quite a bit of time left. Back again with another update. So we are now at 80% with the dual motor. So 80% charge, that's 416 kilometers of range. Moving over to the rear-wheel drive, it's at 94% charge, so quite a bit of a difference, but 373 kilometers range. So in terms of range, the dual motor is still ahead. Now the interesting bit is that we have 6 minutes left on the rear-wheel drive and 25 minutes on the dual motor. So I'm curious to see if we actually get to finish by that time. So it should be about 3:22 p.m., something like that. Looking at the charging speed, the rear-wheel drive is at 34 kilowatts versus the dual motor, which is at 41. So we're back with another update. This time it went to the cars themselves because I'm pretty much done. So this is the rear-wheel drive. The time is 3:25 p.m. So it's a little longer than it initially said. Well, it's still charging, I guess. It's at 99%, and it started saying calibrating about a minute ago, so at 3:24. Now this is where it gets interesting with rear-wheel drives because you don't know how long this calibrating is going to take. It could take another 2 minutes, it could take another 10 minutes. So I'm trying to see exactly how long that's going to be. But in the meantime, we can check on the dual motor. So what do you have for the dual motor?
I'm at 88%.
Okay, and how many minutes does it say you're going to finish at?
Let me check. 20 minutes.
20 minutes
It's
left.
been 20 minutes for a while now. It's not changing.
Okay, how fast are you charging though?
31 kilowatts.
So 31. We're charging with 8 kilowatts. So obviously much lower. And that number is going to keep going down up until you get to like 1 kilowatts. And then that's when it's going to switch over to 100%, at least from what I noticed. Alternatively, I believe that even if I were to unplug now, it would show up as 100%. I've done that before many times when it was just kind of frustrating waiting for the calibrating process. So I used to just unplug when it used to get like, I don't know, to 5 kilowatts, and then it would switch over to 100% anyway. Looks like we got a buddy with the alarm going off. But anyway, we are very close to the end of our video. I don't know if you noticed that, but it switched to 98% just now, and then it's now back to 99%. So yeah, I love the LFP battery, but it's a little iffy when it gets to the actual 100% aspect. I charge it to 100% all the time. I leave it to 100% all the time. So this is something that I do usually overnight at home. We only use the superchargers for long distances or just, tests like these. Right, so time, 3:27 p.m. So we're already about 5 minutes over what it initially said it was going to finish at. What's the dual motor at percentage-wise?
I'm at 89%, so it only went up 1%.
Still 20 minutes?
14 actually, so it dropped.
14 minutes. Okay, so getting there. We'll see if the dual motor can catch up. Okay, back for another update. One of the final updates for the rear-wheel drive. The time is now 3:37 p.m. So that's getting close to about 15 minutes, I believe, since it started calibrating. So even though the car technically was at 99% about 15 minutes ago, it is just calibrating. We're down to 1 kilowatt hour charging. That normally indicates that it's about to be finished. It's still showing 99%. If we unplug right now, it's going to be 100%, but we're going to wait until the charger itself stops, until I hear that click. Let's check on the dual motor. What do you have so far?
I'm at 95%. and I'm charging with 19 kilowatts, and apparently there's only 8 minutes left. So we'll see if I can catch up, because it's taking me a while. Okay, 8 minutes. So 8 minutes.
8 minutes. That's the number to beat. I'll be happy if we can finish with a lead of 5 minutes. Finally, we are done. We finally hit 100% at, it was 3:47 p.m. So 3:47 p.m. and we are at 100% with the rear-wheel drive dual motor.
I'm at 98% and I have 3 minutes left to charge.
Right. So I wonder if 3 minutes would be enough to make up the difference in 100 kilometers. Probably not. Probably not. But nevertheless, a win's a win. I'll take it. So I guess you paid an extra 10 grand or whatever, how much it was, for nothing. Sucks to be you.
Yeah, I only have an extra 200 horses and 120 kilometers of range.
Speed limit's the same though.
It is what it is. That's debatable.
Time, 4:04 p.m. So the dual motor just finished. We hit 100%. It's showing 4:04. In terms of range, we have 519 kilometers range versus the 410 kilometers that was showing at 100% for the rear-wheel drive. So that's a lead of around 105, 110, let's say 110 kilometers. So the difference between them was 110 kilometers in terms of range. So the dual motor has 110 kilometers more, at least showing up on the dash. Let's pretend that's accurate. From our testing, we know it's not, but let's ignore that. 110 kilometers. Now, if the rear-wheel drive started off from the charging location to the next supercharger, let's say, and I had a 16-minute lead, which was the difference that we had between charging them. So we just had a look at the data that we've accumulated during this test. So we started off with the cars at 0%. In 15 minutes, the rear-wheel drive charged up to
49%.
49%. So even though the 16-minute difference between them seems small, it doesn't look to be that small, because if I were to start driving and let's say I go to the next destination, I reach with 0%, which is unlikely, but nevertheless, let's say I reach with 0% and start charging, I would have around 50% by the time that my brother would actually reach the superchargers. So the lead would just keep getting bigger and bigger. So the win is actually a really good win for the rear-wheel drive. It's quite a bit of a difference. A little annoying for people with dual motors, to be honest. And
a tiny bit, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm actually curious how a BYD rear-wheel drive would compare to my LFP. So the new LFP versus the LFP that I have, which is the one from China. It's not the, I think the German rear-wheel drive started to install the BYD batteries. But nevertheless, the rear-wheel drive is the better car to buy if you want to do long distances, which is very misleading, because the dual motor is called the Long Range here in Europe, not the dual motor, it says Long Range. So even though it goes a little bit further, it's not better for longer trips.
Yeah, unfortunately, that seems to be the case. Luckily, I got a huge discount when I bought mine. Otherwise, I wouldn't be a happy camper. But overall, I gotta say, the rear-wheel drive won every single charging test so far. And I'm pretty amazed and pretty disappointed at the same time. Disappointed in my car. But hopefully in the future the tech will get better. I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah, well, that's it for now. Thank you for joining us. I'm hoping this helped someone make a decision, or at least just fulfilled your curiosities. It definitely answered all my questions, because at this time I was getting very curious myself. We've done the previous 2 tests, one in the winter, one in springish. Oh, by the way, it's currently 39 degrees Celsius, 39. So I guess this definitely qualifies as summer, as a good summer test.
100%.
We're not going to be doing one at over 40 degrees. I'm not doing that. It was very hot to sit in these cars with no AC while they were charging. I'm not doing that again. Thank you for joining us on this test. I hope you guys learned something. We certainly did. So we'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.
Have a good one.